Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, Michael Vick was a quarterback for the Atlanta Falcons of the National Football League. He was the biggest star Atlanta has ever had, definitely at the time. But instead of living it up in Atlanta like most people would if they were the biggest star in Atlanta, Michael decided to always get on his private jet and fly it back home to a not very big town of Newport News, Virginia, where he grew up. Now, Michael was always a homebody, which is why he did this. He never really liked the spotlight and didn't really want to be in Atlanta and party. He wanted to go hang out with his buddies back home, his high school buddies, especially Quantis Phillips and Tony Taylor. Now, these guys didn't do what Michael did after high school. They didn't go to college. They didn't become stars in Atlanta. They weren't national, worldwide stars. So he would hang out with them and do what they wanted to do. But they wanted to get into trouble. So, anyways, Michael Vick and Quantis and Tony bought a house in the middle of the woods using Michael Vick's money. And at first, they just hung out at that house. Smoked some weed, had some parties, yada, yada, yada. And then some dogs started appearing on that house. And not just one or two poodles. 70 pit bulls were found at that house. So what were they doing with these pit bulls, you might ask? They were fighting them and gambling on them. There was a room up top that had a bucket to sit on each side and blood in the middle of it. Now that blood belonged to dogs. What they would do is they would have two pit bulls fight each other, try to kill each other, and bet on who would win. And if the pit bull lost, then they would kill him, and not just by gunshot. They would hang him, they would electrocute him, they would drown him, and all kinds of horrible ways to kill dogs. So, some people, Michael Vick is trying to say that he didn't have any part of this and it was just his friends. He didn't know about it. But the facts are that he went home all the time. And there was hundreds of kennels in the backyard. How could he possibly not know about the hundreds of kennels that were in the backyard? It was his house, and he went there every weekend, so he had to have known about it. He tries to say that he didn't, but it's obvious that he did. So, ladies and gentlemen of the jury, he is being charged with dogfighting and animal cruelty. How can he not have dogfighted if there were dogfights in his backyard? There's evidence to support that, so he had to know about it. So that he's got to be convicted on that. And then he's also been charged with cruelty to animals. If electrocuting, hanging, and drowning dogs isn't cruelty to animals, then I don't know what is. These people raised up dogs for the purpose of killing them, for fun, when he had so much other stuff he could spend his money on to entertain himself, but yet he chose to do this. So, ladies and gentlemen of the jury, please find him guilty.